Hola guys and girls and welcome to the GBA Teambuilder for week 3 of Season 7. We are facing off against the Tampa Bay Luxrays, coached by none other than Chris, aka Monotooi. We lost to Monotooi actually last season in a very close game where I actually brought 2 Scarfers to surprise us a bit with Outspeed Magazam and all this good stuff. He is currently sitting at 2-0. We, of course, lost last week in an unfortunate match versus Seattle MC and are currently sitting at 1-1 with a -1 differential. But he's 2-0. He's currently top at the division. If we manage to beat him, we, of course, we both 2-1. And depending on the differential and how George top, of course, plays, we maybe are able to grab the top spot in the division once again. But for that to happen, of course, I will have to win this game first. We don't look at George right now. We are looking at this game. Monotooi, we still need to get our revenge. He's a very competent player. He just barely missed playoffs last season because he had to start with a loss from taking over Gap's team. Of course, he didn't even have his own team. He just used the team he grabbed himself. So not an easy matchup at all for us. But to get more detail about the matchup, let's actually go over his team. He got the Jirachi, which is his Z-Captain as well, the Buzzhole, the Zygarde, the Roserade, the Mantine, the Greninja, the Florges, the Miltank, a Alolan Golem, Salazzle, and the Bishop. Biggest threats to my team are without a doubt, first of all, the Zygarde. 1000 arrows is just a huge problem for my team. I have some, of course, some ground immunities, but 1000 arrows doesn't care about ground immunities, and my only resistance is the Scizor, which is pretty bulky on the special side, but not that bulky on the physical side, sadly. So Zygarde is something I have to worry about. Jirachi can do so many things as Z-Captain. He has very limited Russian versus me. He basically has to bring Spadef Jirachi, because looking at my team, like I keep repeating it, with my team, every opponent is basically quote-unquote forced to bring a special defensive steel type. Because I got Neolego, I got Magiana, I got Latias. No doubt about that the opponent is bringing a Spadef steel type versus me. So it's already going to be a Spadef Jirachi. I'm expecting like Ironhead, Wish, Thunder Wave, Protect, something like that, Rocks maybe. So like, you got standard dot Spadef Jirachi, might even have U-turn for momentum, stuff like that. Then the Buzzhole, I have to be careful about Buzzhole, he used it very well. Like all Ultra Beasts, of course, he can get an attack raise and easy speed from Monotooi if he's a Scarf variant, and if he's a more defensive variant, which I'm actually expecting to be bringing, then he can chew hits for days and still dish a lot of hits, a lot of damage versus me. Now a problem is going to be the Greninja and the Salazzle, both outspeed my whole team. And their courage, they get Greninja, of course, gets courage up the roof. Salazzle, not that much, but Fire and Poison is already very nice with my team. I have only Neolego for that, basically to switch comfortably in on Salazzle multiple times, but he only has to pick HP ground on that, and that is already neutral already. So yeah, these are his main threats. Defensive-wise, he got, of course, someone as well, like Jirachi's gonna do death, like I said. Buzzhole, probably Fist Death for my Lucario. And then you got threats still like Roserade, Mantine, Florges, Miltank, the big snipe of my team. I still hate you for sniping Miltank. Goddammit, this should have been mine one. Alolan Golem, I'm not expecting. Like, I'm not expecting Alolan Golem in a lot of matches, basically. And then Bishop, I have to be careful with Bishop, because I have summons which are, of course, weak to Dark, and he can easy pursue trap, like my Latias, my Scizor, like my Mesprit, mainly. Don't really expect Bishop, but he may bring it to, like, get some pursuit traps versus my monster. But yeah, that is his team. Now let's go over mine here on Showdown. First of all, we got Fancy Hat, the Nihilego with an Assault-based variant with Sludge Wave Power Gem as main stabs, of course. Dazzling Gleam for the Zygarde, and then Hidden Power Fire for the Jirachi, which I'm of course expecting. Like, basically, it's basically the same set I had last time as well. Dazzling Gleam for the Dragon, Hidden Power for the ground Dragon type, Hidden Power Fire for the Steel type, and then my 2 main stabs. This speed is there to outspeed a max speed Jirachi, which I don't really expect him to bring, but so most of my other ones are designed to outspeed a max speed Zygarde, which I'm most like I said, speed of Jirachi, blah blah. You know the deal. I repeated it a lot of times already. But when in doubt, I wanted to have something to outspeed that, and that way, if you look at the spread, I actually have a higher speed set than special attack set. That means once I get a kill, my Beast Boost will activate, and I will get a speed boost, making it able to outspeed his whole team, basically barring a Scarf Salazzle or a Scarf Greninja. So this thing is going to be very nice to outspeed to see, because Greninja can hit for a very nice amount of damage, and the Salazzle as well. If he thinks these are offensive checks to this thing, they are not anymore once I get my speed boost. Other than that, the Assault is there so I can chew actually all the special hits he has fronts to throw at me. From Salazzle, I don't have to care. I can take HP grounds from this thing, barring he gets to set up nasty plots, then it's going to be sketchy. If he's Life Orb, that is. Florges, this thing is my easy switch into that. Even Psychics won't do much to me, especially from the defensive Florges. Roserade, I can switch into that, even if Leaf from offensive one is not doing over 50% to me. So I can switch it to a lot of things my opponent wants to bring special attacking wise and basically dish out a lot of damage such with Power Gem, Dazzling Gleam and such. And maybe late game sweep if I get a speed boost and Mono is not expecting that, because usually Lego gets always that special attack raise because that is just so much higher than the speed boost. Sweet. But yeah, and because I want to run less special attacks, so I have a higher higher speed step, then special attack set. I have a lot of bulk with 108 HP and then 4 in speed F because I want to have an even number here, because then you get the maximum out of Assault Test. Because with an uneven number, you basically lose 1 point. But if you go 1.5 with an even amount, you basically get 1 point extra. Like you get 1 point extra for putting 1 in speed F and 1 point extra from the Assault Test. So basically you get 2 points with only putting 1 point more in speed F. That's the reason for that. Next up, we got Mr. Bro, the first appearance of my Tornadus with a very funky spread. We got Tornadus with the Figgy Berry, Acrobatics, Knockoff, Bulk Up, and Substitute. This thing is designed to set up on Spadef Taraji. That is the design of this thing. Like I said, I'm expecting to bring a Spadef Taraji. He's basically forced to. And with this spread, with this HP investment and this defense investment, very meticulously calculated, I can add +1 with a Bulk Up. Taraji can't break my sub anymore with Iron Head. So I can use the chance to set up with this thing, get some substitutes going, get some bulk ups going, get the Figgy Berry once I'm at low health, which I'm basically guaranteed to get, barring I get an unexpected big hit versus me. Because of Crankstar, I have a priority on my bulk up and my substitute, so I can easily get in Figgy Berry range and then have a full powered Acrobatics with some bulk up boost and then of course knock off to get rid of some items that hit the Jirachi. Super effective, because once I can get some damage on Jirachi, my other special attacking mons can pull through, like my Lego for example. But yeah, enough speed to outspeed max speed Zygarde this time. Like I said, I don't want to speed creep too much for Jirachi because I'm not expecting him to bring an offensive one. And if he brings an offensive one, he will probably speed creep for some of my ones. But usually you always go for max speed. And Zygarde will probably be max speed, so I want to speed creep for that. And yeah, this can set up on other things as well, depending if they're offensive or defensive. For example, the Buzzle. Like, if I bring this in on Buzzle, I can easily switch it in, but he goes for Stone Edge or Thunder Punch, which I don't really think he would predict with most of my team. I can be that in scared out. He will most likely go into Jirachi to take the incoming flying hit or something of that sort, because it's going to be its main special attacking answer, and Tornadus is usually special attacking. And then I can use this chance to get a bulk up, substitute going, and basically start doing a lot of damage on his team. I don't expect with Tornadus to sweep through his whole team, just because it's missing some speed to outspeed stuff like Salazzle or the Ninja. But with substitutes up and some bulk stuff, I can definitely punch some holes to his team and open the door for some of my other ones. So yeah, that's the main goal of Tornadus. A bit funky spread, but I think it can be pulled through. I can, like with Spadef Jirachi, there are so many scenarios where you would switch that in, and I have my Tornadus in. Same with like a Buzzle. If he doesn't have Stone Edge or Thunder Punch, I can set up on that thing as well. I can potentially set up on the Miltank if he brings that and it's a defensive one. I can potentially set up on the that's actually it. These ones. But yeah, mainly on Jirachi because, like I said, Spadef Jirachi, you know the deal. That's probably... I could name the video about that. Spadef Jirachi, here's my team. So, next up we got Kudogo, the Life Orb variant with Close Combat, Hidden Power Flying, Thunder Punch, and Extreme Speed. This speed is there to outspeed any mount which wants to speed creep my Magiana. So I am able to outspeed all of those mons. I want that speed because I want to have an Adamant Nature, because I'm mixed attacking with Life Orb with no setup. Hidden Power Flying is there because like I said, I expect him to bring a physically defensive Buzzle to be able to stop my Lucario. And once he sees that I'm physical and he brings in the Buzzle, I can bob that with Hidden Power Flying. If he's only max HP, Life Orb, Hidden Power Flying will overcall that thing after rocks. Close Combat, of course, main stab. Thunder Punch for the only other one which resists my Fighting Stab, barring Roserade, which is the Mantine, which he might bring. And then Roserade, of course, is not physically bulky at all, so he won't enjoy taking Close Combat. And then Extreme Speed for priority, which I will need, because like I said, I'm a pretty slow Lucario, but I'm very strong Lucario. So we got that going for us. Life Orb, of course, for more damage. And then we got Steadfast as the ability, because if I manage to get flinched by Jirachi, which might happen if he's actually an offensive Jirachi, then I can get a speed boost. Basically, yes, his only dark attacking mon is the Bishop, and I thought maybe getting a speed boost with a slower Lucario with Iron Heads from Jirachi might be possible, so I'd rather go for Steadfast. It's just a little thing, but if it's happened, it's gonna be cool. Next up, we got Frank, physically defensive once again, but with a decent amount of attack investment this time. That is because with this investment and play rough, I will be able to break the sub from a physically defensive Zygarde and a physically defensive Buzzhole every time. every time Barring starts setting up. Like, if Zygarde gets a coil up, I can't break it anymore. And if Buzzle gets a bulk up, I can't break it anymore as well. But for that, I have Roar here as well. I don't actually have Rapid Spin. My team is not too weak to hazards. The only one which is weak to hazards is my Tornadus. And then, of course, I want to have a low amount of HP to pop the Figgy Berry, get 50% back. In case you didn't know, Figgy Berry gets you 50% back if you're at 25%, in comparison to Citrus Berry, which gets you 30% back if you're at half. So it basically activates later, but it gives you more HP than Citrus. So yeah, that's why I got Roar, because he gets potential for some defensive setup, like I said, with the Zygarde and the Buzzhole, and I don't want to be... My Donphan is going to be a man's answer to those, and I don't want to be set up fodder for them. So that's why I have the Roar, Stealth Rock, of course, for Stealth Rocks, that's what you always want, and Rocky Helmet to get some damage on Iron Hands and U-turns from the Jirachi. So like I said, this is going to be my main point, is going to be to whittle down the Jirachi to allow my fancy head to potentially sweep through his team. These are there to punch through holes. And then I got my other monster which can potentially sweep. That is more of a fail-safe, which is my Choice Scarf, Latias with Psychic and Bolt Beam coverage. This is just my fail-safe. Enough speed once again to outspeed the max speed Zygarde, so I can outspeed the Zygarde at +1 if he decides to get Dragon Dance up. Because otherwise, if Zygarde decks the Dragon Dance up and I don't have this thing, it's basically game over. Like, it only needs a little dead damage on my Frank, because I'm not fully physically defensive, because I need that attack investment. And of course I have no reliable recovery on Donphan. That's why I have this thing here, Psychic, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Healing Wish. Healing Wish, like I said, for some months, if I want to bring my Tornadus back, my Lucario, my Donphan, like many, I lack a bit of reliable recovery with this team I bring in right here. So I have Healing Wish basically to get something back from the dead. Psychic there as my main stab, because I didn't want to have the main stab as Dragon Stab. Psychic hits the Roserade for more damage, hits the Buzzhole for more damage, and that's basically it. And then you get Thunderbolt for stuff like the Greninja and the Manta, and Ice Beam, like I said, for the Zygarde. A lot of coverage. This thing is mainly there my fail-safe, either if one of them sets up and I can guarantee outspeeds him, or if I need something back at good health, so I can start sweeping or blocking some of his mons. Basically, yeah, fail-safe, Latias. Either it's going to be herself, the fail-safe, or getting something else back to full health. So yeah, that's Latias. Next up we got Wit, the first appearance of my Primarina with the Cabia Berry, Moonblast, Scalp, Psychic, and Toxic. Physically defensive with forced to death investment. Wit is there mainly to stop the Greninja, because if you look at my team doesn't appreciate Greninja at all. I have only one mon which outspeeds, which is my Latias, and Latias does not like switching in, of course, because with the Dark Hits. This thing resists both its stabs, and with the Cabia Berry it can take gang shots very easily and OHKO it with a Moonblast. Then we got Scald, of course, there, because everyone likes burns, and Psychic is there because if I bring this in on the Buzzhole, and he is Fist Death, he probably will switch out with me, because the best thing he has to activate is Thunder Punch, and that won't do too much because I'm physically defensive. Then I can go for Psychic instead of Moonblast and catch the incoming Roserade, probably. That's why I have mainly Psychic there. Without Psychic, Roserade would be an easy switch into me, because Moonblast won't do much, Scald won't do much, I obviously can't Toxic that. And yeah, if I ever get to the matchup of Primarina versus Buzzhole, and he has the Roserade, I can easily kick Psychic, which would do a lot of damage to the Buzzhole, and will catch the Roserade on the switch-in. And then as last, definitely least, we got Toxic. 2 Toxic summons, because this is moveset, otherwise Man-Time would like a straight stop to this thing, because I can't do enough damage to it, and it can just boost up. That's why I got Toxic, to be able to Toxic the thing and deal at least something to it. I don't mind taking a return Toxic. With the Cabby Berry, I need to be like around 40% to still take a gunshot from Greninja. So yeah, that is Primarina for you. This is the whole team. If let me know in the comments what you think of this team. We'll be able to pull through. Which of my mons will be able to get the most kills in that? I hope you picked someone in the fantasy league. At least, yeah, I hope so. It's always nice to see people picking my mons. That means they're believing in me. I believe in myself as well, and let's start believing all together. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal at the end of our videos. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the match. The Borussia Donphan versus the Tampa Bay Luxrays. Be excited for that. I will see you there. Ciao.